Hey guys, this is Abhishek from gadgetsnews.com, and today we are going to do the quick comparison in between these three phones, which are again very close competitor to each other. We have the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4G and 3G. We have Micromax U Yureka phone as well with us. As you can see, this is how these phones actually look like. This is the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3G. This is Xiaomi Redmi Note 4G, and we have Yureka phone. So we are going to call it Redmi Note 4G, Note 3G and Yureka. So let's compare these devices together and tell you what are the differences, what are the good things which you have on this phone, what are the good things you have on this one, and what are the good things you have on this one. We are going to compare these devices on different kind of criteria, which will include camera, which will include the display, the build quality, the overall form factor you will have, the weight of these devices, and also the overall value for money you will get when you buy any of these three. So first of all, we are going to talk about the Micromax Yureka phone, which is again very light as compared to these two phones. These are again kind of heavy as compared to Yureka phone. We have 5.5-inch display on all these phones, and we have IPS LCD display on all these three phones. And again, even when with this much of form factor, the Micromax Yureka is much lighter as compared to these two, but these two actually have bigger battery as compared to the Micromax Yureka phone. So that could be the reason, that is why they are kind of heavy. In terms of the build quality, I would say the build quality is very good on Yureka phone, but it is slightly better over here on the Redmi Note 4G. Again, when you hold these phones in hand, you will feel that this is kind of more solid but also heavy as well when you hold it in hand as compared to Yureka phone. Either you talk about the 4G or the 3G, both of them are heavier in terms of weight as compared to this one. And again, here we have the advantage that this is again very good build quality and also feels light when you hold it in hand. So we have a nice material over here at the back cover, which is again plastic, just like these two phones, but again this is a better quality plastic which they have used, and it also provides you a better grip when you hold it in hand. This is kind of light and very good to hold in hand, although these two phones are kind of heavy and difficult to hold in hand because the grip is not that great because of the glossy back cover which we have on the Redmi Note 4G as well as on 3G. So as you can see, we have loaded the same game on all these three phones, and in terms of loading time, the Redmi Note 3G was the fastest in terms of loading this game. Then the Micromax Yureka phone was the second in terms of loading this game faster, and then it was the Redmi Note 4G. And when we compare these devices in terms of the gaming playback, I'm going to play this game one by one on all these three phones. So here we have the game loaded on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3G, and let me just play this game. In terms of graphics, I can play this game pretty fine on this device without any issues. You can see that, and this game is running pretty smoothly without any problem. The gaming controls are accessible and there is no problem with the game playback. Now let me just play this game on the Micromax Yureka phone over here. And over here as well, this game is running pretty smoothly, pretty good, I would say. There is no problem with the gaming controls. Touchscreen is very responsive. And you can play this game pretty smoothly on this device without any issues. There is no problem with the graphics. Let me now play this game on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4G. Here we have it. And on this device, we can play this game again pretty smoothly without any issues. This one is also very responsive to the touch screen when it comes to the finger touch. So this one is also pretty responsive to the touch screen. On this device as well, I can play this game pretty smoothly without any issues, as you can see. So in terms of gaming, I can say all these three devices can handle high definition games without any issues, and the one which will be faster is going to be the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3G, and then the second position is going to be taken up by the Micromax Yureka phone. Now to compare the display clarity of all these three phones, we have set the same wallpaper, and as far as display technology is concerned, we have the same IPS LCD display technology in all of these three phones. However, the display panel might be coming from a different OEM at the time of manufacturing. So if we compare these devices in terms of viewing angle, first of all, we have the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4G over there, and we have the 3G one over there, and we have the Micromax Yureka phone. And in terms of viewing angles, all of them are pretty colorful. You can see the display from almost any angle, although viewing angles are slightly better over here on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3G and 4G as compared to what you get on the Micromax Yureka phone. However, the colors are also being reproduced nicely over here on this display, which is the Micromax phone or the Yureka phone you can say, and on this display the colors are also nicely reproduced. Again, in order to give you a close comparison in between these two, I can show you these two displays from this angle. Again, both of them are visible and colors are being very nicely reproduced on both of them, so there is no problem with the display. The display is pretty good on all these three phones, and for the price it is a pretty good display which you will get on all of them. You have 720p into 1280 resolution on this display on the 5.5-inch display panel which we have on all these three phones, which is again pretty good for the price you are paying for these phones. As far as box contents are concerned, there is a slight difference over here. When we talk about the box contents of the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4G or 3G, or when we talk about the box contents of the Yureka phone, there is a difference. We get headphones within the package of Yureka phone, whereas we do not get the same on Xiaomi phones. So we have the package of the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4G over there, and let me just open this package and show you what you get within the package. So inside the package you will get a micro USB cable and a charger, and you will also get the battery, which is 3200 mAh battery, and the output current from this charger is 2 amperes. So it is a fast charger which you get within the package of Xiaomi Redmi Note 3G or 4G. Both of them will have the same charger. And when it comes to this device over there, I can show you the package contents of the Yureka phone as well. And inside this package you will get the charger over there, which is not the fast charger, but it is a 1 ampere charger which you will get within the package of the Yureka phone, and that is one difference over there. So this is a 1 ampere charger, not the 2 ampere charger, not the fast charger. We have the micro USB cable for data syncing and charging, which also come within the package. And apart from this, something extra you get within the package with Yureka phone are these in-ear headphones, which you do not get with Xiaomi phones. So you will have to buy the headphones in case you want to buy the Xiaomi phones, and this is the change you will have as far as package contents in between these three phones. Apart from the build quality, there is also a difference in terms of connectivity on all these three phones. We have the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3G, on which you can use 2 SIM cards. So it is a dual SIM phone with a micro SD card support and a 3200 mAh battery. Whereas on the Micromax Yureka phone, we have got a 2500 mAh battery and support for 2 SIM cards. And you do have support for micro SD memory card as well, which is good. Whereas on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4G, we have got support for only 1 SIM card. So it is a single SIM phone with support for micro SD memory card as well. So micro SD memory card support is across there on all these three phones, whereas the battery is bigger over here on these two ones, which is 3200 mAh battery, whereas the battery which we have got on the Micromax Yureka is slightly lesser, which is 2500 mAh battery, which is again kind of sufficient to give you around 1 day battery backup. As per the information which we have got from Yureka, this phone can actually give you 1 day of battery backup, and after using this device for approximately 3 to 4 days, I can say that this device can easily give you 1 day of battery backup, whereas these devices can give you slightly more than 1 day of battery backup. The Xiaomi Redmi Note actually gave us approximately 1.5 days of battery backup, whereas the 4G gave us around 1 day battery backup during our review. Let's compare the camera quality which you can get from these three phones. All these three phones at the back has 13 megapixel camera, and at the front as well we have 5 megapixel fixed focus camera on all of them. So let's take a look over the clarity you can get in terms of photo when you take it in indoors with artificial light and without artificial light. We are going to take 2 photos. So we are going to take the photo of this Android Robo with artificial light, and we will take another one without artificial light. Similarly, we will do it for Micromax Yureka phone. So we have the camera interface over there, and let me just toggle to the rear camera. So again, I'm going to take the first photo without light, and the second photo will be taken with light. So both the photos have been taken, and let me just take the same photo with light from Xiaomi Redmi Note 4G and without light as well. So we have taken these photos on all these three phones. Let me just show you all of them one by one. So this is the one which has been taken without light, and this is the one which has been taken without light on Micromax Yureka phone. And the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3G, this is the one which has been taken without light on Redmi Note 3G. In terms of color production, I would say the color production is pretty good on the Micromax Yureka phone as compared to Redmi Note 3G. This photo is looking pretty good in terms of color production as well as in terms of brightness. And if we compare the same with the Redmi Note 4G, we can see the difference over there. So this device again has a pretty good photo in low light, but again it is not that good which you see on the Micromax Yureka phone. And this is the one which has been taken with light on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4G. This is how it looks like on the Micromax Yureka phone, and this is how it looks like on Xiaomi Redmi Note 3G. Again over here as well, if we compare all of these three photos, the photo is much brighter over here, and in terms of colors it is very nicely reproduced. In terms of details, I can show you the details as well. Details are very nicely captured on the Micromax device, and they are pretty nicely captured on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3G as well, whereas on the Redmi Note 4G details are not that good. They are kind of grainy, whereas it is very clear on these two devices. And in terms of camera performance, both of them come very close to each other, but again the photo is looking brighter over here on the Micromax Yureka phone, whereas it is not that brighter. In terms of colors, both of them are looking pretty good in terms of color production, and in terms of details as well, both of them are very nicely captured. In terms of display brightness, Micromax Yureka phone is the brightest out of all these three, and the second position is going to be taken up by Xiaomi Redmi Note 3G, which is again pretty bright. And the less bright display as compared to these two is going to be on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4G, which is least in terms of brightness compared to these two, but again it is pretty bright for a phone of this much of price. In terms of price comparison, we can say that the major difference or the major competition which is there in between two phones are going to be the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3G and the Micromax Yureka phone. Both of them are priced at the same price, which is 9,000 rupees. In gaming benchmark comparison, we have got a score of 56.7 FPS on Redmi 4G. We have got a score of 55.0 FPS on Yureka, and on Ninamark we have got a score of approximately 61.3 FPS, which is the best score which we have got on Xiaomi Redmi Note 3G. And in terms of gaming performance as well, it is like this only. This one is at the top in terms of gaming performance. This one can handle high definition games pretty effectively without any issues, and the Yureka phone can also handle high definition games pretty effectively. There is a minor difference in between these two phones in terms of the gaming performance, but Xiaomi Redmi Note 3G is actually slightly better as compared to the Micromax Yureka phone on gaming front, whereas this device is the worst out of all these three in terms of gaming. This one can also handle high definition games, but this one heats up a lot as compared to these two. And again, heating is something which has been taken care of very nicely on the Yureka phone, whereas it is not that great on these two ones, because this phone, even when you play high definition games, does not get heated up that much, which you can experience over here on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3G, and this one actually heats up much more than these two. So in terms of gaming performance, this one is at the top, but this one actually gets heated up slightly more than the Yureka phone. This one is again very closer to this one in terms of gaming, but this one can handle heat pretty effectively. The chipset is very nicely designed to handle the kind of heat generated when you play high definition games. So in terms of the overall balance, when it comes to gaming, you will have a pretty good balance on the chipset on this one, whereas this one will give you extreme performance and slightly better performance as compared to the Micromax Yureka phone. Now here we have the front camera open on all these three phones. Let me just take a selfie of mine from the front camera on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4G. Let me just take the same photo over here on Yureka phone. And let me just take the same photo again over here on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3G. So we have taken all these three photos, and let me just show you all of them one by one. So this is the kind of quality you will get on the Micromax Yureka phone. This is the kind of quality you will get on the Redmi Note 4G, and when we talk about the front camera quality you can get on Redmi Note 3G, this is how it will be. So I would say this device is good, but not that great, as you can see the photos which have been captured on the Yureka phone and the Redmi Note 3G. In terms of front camera performance, I would say these two devices are very close to each other. Both of them are giving you good amount of details, which is nice, and color production is also very nicely done. And even in low light, both of them has given a pretty good photo from the front camera, which is again a very nice thing. Let me just show that photo again. So you can see these photos very closely over here, and both of them has given good amount of details in the front camera photos which I have captured from them. I would say the photo is slightly brighter over here, but it looks more natural over here as compared to the one which has been taken over here. This one is more natural, better in terms of colors, but this one is better in terms of brightness, I would say, and colors are also looking pretty good on the Yureka phone. Now to conclude this comparison review, I would like to point out some of the good things which we have on the Yureka phone, some of the good things you have on Xiaomi Redmi Note 3G, and then we will talk about the Xiaomi Redmi Note 4G. Talking about the Yureka phone has the brightest display. This one also have 4G functionality for around less than 1000 rupees the price as compared to the 4G version of Redmi Note. So you will get this device for 9000 rupees, whereas you get the 4G version of Redmi Note for 10,000 rupees. And again, the graphic performance on the Redmi Note 4G is not that great as compared to the Micromax Yureka phone. When we talk about these two phones, which is the Redmi Note 3G and the Yureka phone, this one has slightly better performance in terms of graphics, but again, this one is pretty good in terms of handling games, high definition games, and this device also does not get heated up that much as you will experience on the Redmi Note 3G. So that is the difference which you will see on these two phones. Both of them can run high definition games pretty effectively. When we talk about the 4G version of Redmi Note, this one is again costly than these two, but in terms of gaming it is not that great as compared to these two. So this one is going to be rejected on the basis of gaming front. So if you want a better gaming phone, you can consider the phone in between these two, either the Redmi Note 3G or the Micromax Yureka phone, because gaming is going to be better on these two ones, whereas the gaming is not going to be great on this one. You can play high definition games. When it comes to 4G functionality, you will get 4G functionality on the Yureka phone, which again makes it a better choice in between these two. You will get a 4G phone for the same price, and the gaming performance is good enough on both of them. When we talk about handling heat, this device can handle heat pretty effectively. Again, the chipset has been designed much effectively on this device, which is Snapdragon 615, which can handle the heating of the device very nicely, because this device does not get heated up that much as compared to the heating which you can experience on the Xiaomi Redmi Note 3G. So that is one difference which you will see in between these two phones, on the basis of which I would say the Micromax Yureka phone is actually a winner. But in terms of gaming performance, both of them are pretty good. In terms of camera performance, all of them are good. You will get a slightly better colorful display over here on the Redmi Note 3G as compared to the one you will get on the Micromax Yureka phone. Both of them are on full brightness as of now, but again you can see the display is better and more colorful over here, but it is brighter over here. The camera quality is pretty good on all these three phones. The camera quality is very good on both of these two ones, whereas it is not that great over here. In terms of brightness as well, this is least brightness in terms of comparison between these three. This one is the brightest, this one is going to be on the second position, and this is going to be on the third position. When it comes to the value for money, I would say Yureka phone is the most value for money out of all these three phones, because you get 4G functionality, you get a better gaming performance and a better optimization of battery when it comes to playing high definition games. One thing which is very good is that it does not get heated up that much as you will experience on the Redmi Note 3G. Another thing which is a kind of a better thing on these two ones is that the battery, you have a battery of 3200 mAh battery over there, you have 3200 mAh battery over there, whereas you have 2500 mAh on the Micromax Yureka phone. So these devices can give you slightly more than 1 day battery backup with moderate to basic usage, whereas this one will give you 1 day of battery backup. And this is something which we have experienced after using this device for approximately 2 to 3 days. After that, we are saying that you will see a better battery backup on this device in day-to-day usage on this one, whereas in terms of gaming, both of them are pretty good. So these are the kind of differences which we wanted to point out in between these three phones. Do let us know if you have any specific question for these devices. We would love to help you. Thanks for watching this video. In case this video helped you, you can always click the like button. You can always subscribe to our YouTube video channel as well by clicking the subscribe button below. Thanks for watching this video. This is Abhishek signing off. Thank you.